Yo, what is up, guys? So, for this video, just like my last one, it's the 100 Days Hardcore, but just like my last one, I actually did it on Bedrock Edition instead of Java, and it felt like way too easy. I didn't really feel good about it. I really just wanted to actually have a challenge, so I did it on Java, and it is way, way harder on Java. I did not think it was going to be this hard on Java. It is so much harder, so hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully it's better. I hope my mic sounds better. I actually did get a new mic. And I hope you guys had a good new year. So let's get right into it. Alright, so on the first day, I spawned in an oak biome. And this is my preferred biome. I don't like to spawn anywhere else because this biome is my favorite. I really like oak planks. And I just really like this biome. It's just really pleasing to look at. And basically what I do is I just build my crafting table, build all my tools, the necessities and stuff like that at the beginning of a world. And right after that, I go to kill some pigs because I need food. At this point, if I didn't have food, I probably wouldn't really survive that long because my hunger bars are already starting to go down. And where my crafting table is, that's where I was going to build my house. And right next to my crafting table, I start mining down. And I go right into coal, which is really, really nice because I didn't have to go looking for it. And I ended up mining into a cave, and there was a lot of iron there, like way too much iron there. And I got all the iron I could. It was enough iron to make a full iron armor and all my iron tools I needed. After I get out of the cave, I kill some sheep for some wool to make a bed. That's what I do. Make a bed and go to sleep. That's the end of day one. So at the start of day two, I make my shield and I start making all of my iron armor. And now that I had iron armor, I was actually feeling a lot more safe. I feel like I could do a lot more things. And so for most of this day, I went to go get wood so I could actually start building my house because I did not have a house yet, and I really would have preferred to have some sort of house by now, but I didn't. And after that, I went to go explore, and I ended up finding a ravine. This ravine was not really that deep. It did not go down to diamond level. I wish it did because that would have helped out a lot, but it didn't. And I also found a rune nether portal, and this rune nether portal didn't really have anything of use besides gold blocks, but I don't really care about rune nether portal, that much because they're just really not that useful to me. And I also kept exploring, and I found a village, which was fantastic. I really was hoping to find a village, and there wasn't really anything at this village besides hay bales. So this whole day I just spent getting all the hay bales there. It took a while because I was doing it by hand, but after that, I just went to bed. So on day 3, I basically am starting to head back home, and I start off with getting wood, and I start building my house for pretty much the rest of the day. Building my house took a while to do because I actually had to get more wood after this eventually, but right after that, I started to make a little place for the cows, like in the ground, because I didn't want to build fences, and that's pretty much all I did for this day. So let's move on to day 4. Alright, so on day 4, I begin this day with finishing up the place for the cows, and after that I start to gather up cows because I didn't have any, and I started to mine some coal because I needed more coal. And while I was actually adventuring, I found a ravine. It didn't go down to diamond level, but I pretty much stayed in there for the rest of the day getting iron because having a lot of iron was actually really nice. I don't know if I really had much anyway, so I kind of needed it. So let's just move on to day 5. Okay, so on day 5 I begin this day with getting a lot of wood because I was actually going to make a room for the enchantment table, and I spent pretty much the rest of the day, almost all of it, not the entire day, but I spent almost the rest of it making the room for the enchantment table, and it turned out very well at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it actually looked really a lot better than I thought it was going to look, but then I started to mine out a little area because I was going to have like another downstairs area that goes down into like a storage room and all my other rooms basically. That's all I did for this day, so let's move on to day 6. I begin day 6 off with just breeding my cows because I needed more leather and just food overall. And I start to put more wood in the downstairs area that I ended off day 5 with doing. Like I went to start to dig down to like a basement area, and it was going really, really good at this point. I mined out all the area I needed, and I started to make a storage room. I almost finished it this day. I did not quite finish it. I was still needed to put in like the flooring and I believe the ceiling. I don't really remember, but that's all I did for this day. So let's move on to day 7. So on day 7, from pretty much all of the start of this day, and I believe later in the day, I get a lot of wood. And in the middle of this day, I actually breed my cows a little bit because I still, need food and leather and all of that stuff. And I actually almost finished my storage room today. I didn't quite finish it because I didn't have enough wood to place all the chests down. So let's just move on to day 8. Alright, so I begin day 8 off with just gathering a bunch of wood because I needed more wood to finish the storage room. And I got a lot of wood, but it wasn't actually enough. I still needed more chests. So after that, I got even more wood. And that wood was enough to fill in the rest of the chest perfectly. And that was really nice. So the rest of the day, I spent trying to find sugarcane. It was so hard to find it since I actually found out an earlier attempt at doing this, because this was actually my 5th attempt, and it was really, really annoying. But I found out you can't bone meal sugarcane on Java, which really made me kind of sad because it slowed down the process of like getting a fully enchanted enchantment table. And so let's just move on to day 9. Alright, so on day 9, I am still looking for some more sugarcane. I really need sugarcane. And then later that day, I actually found a village, and it had 2 blacksmiths there. And the first blacksmith had a full set of iron armor, which was something I haven't seen before. And I'm actually killing a lot of cows right here because I need leather, a lot of leather actually, for the enchantment table. And both of these blacksmiths, neither one of them had diamonds, which I was really, really hoping for they actually had. And so for the rest of that day, all the stuff I got home, organized all the items, and that's pretty much it. So let's move on to day 10. So on day 10, I actually was mining a lot because I didn't have any diamonds for an enchantment table, because you actually need 2 diamonds for an enchantment table. And during this day, I found roughly like 3 diamonds. The first vein only had 2, the second vein had 1. I was hoping to have more, but you know, it's fine. I got enough for what I was trying to get, so let's just move on to day 11. Alright, so on day 11, I was still mining because I still had like more pickaxes, or I still had a pickaxe left, and that pickaxe ended up breaking, so I had to head back up to the surface. And after that, I just organized all my items, and I made more iron pickaxes because the next day I was actually going on mining. So let's move on to day 12. So on day 12, I actually put down bookshelves now, and I put down my enchantment table. So I was actually able to enchant, but I wasn't going to do it yet because I didn't have a level 30 enchantment table yet. And after that, I went to go kill a bunch of cows because I still needed a bunch of leather to make more books for bookshelves. That's what I did for pretty much the rest of the day. And I found a village, got all the hay bales there, and I didn't really do anything else that day, so let's just move on to day 13. On day 13, I was exploring and found a blacksmith, and it didn't really have anything in it, nothing that I really cared about. So I started to head back home, and when I got home, I had well over a stack of beef, which is really, really, really nice. So I actually started to breed with more of the cows at the end of the day, and that's pretty much all I did for this day. So let's just move on to day 14. On day 14, I was strip mining and found a vein of 4 diamonds, which is really nice because now I could actually have a diamond pickaxe, which is really what I was trying to get at this day. Trying to get a diamond pickaxe so I could actually like have one. And I went back home. That's pretty much all I did for this day. I didn't really do anything else. So let's just move on to day 15. So on day 15, I spent this entire day pretty much finding sugarcane because I still needed a lot more paper to make all the bookshelves needed. And then I found something amazing. I found a pink sheep. Like, I was so surprised. I was just looting a ruined nether portal, and I turn around, and it's just a pink sheep. At first, I thought it was a pig, but it was a pink sheep. And I know that they're really rare. I understand that. I know that they're super rare to find. I killed it, and I took the wool, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the wool yet. I want to know if you guys have an idea of what to do with the wool. I'm not sure what to do with it, so let's just move on to day 16. So on day 16, I finally get my enchantment table to level 30. It was really, really nice. So I saw that my level 3 enchantment for my pickaxe was efficiency 4. So I really wanted to get that. I started to build a room for a nether portal because I need to go in the nether to get quartz and stuff to actually get my levels up. And so pretty much the rest of this day was spent building a room for the nether portal. So let's just move on to day 17. So day 17, I pretty much started to plant more sugarcane because even though my enchantment table was level 30, I still wanted to like fill it completely because it kind of annoyed me when all the bookshelves weren't all symmetrical and together. And so for the rest of that day, the entire day, I spend it just killing animals to get as much food as I can. So let's just move on to day 18. So on day 18, I fill in the last of my bookshelves just to make it like even and stuff. And I finally go in the nether. This is the day where I go in the nether, and it was scary. I actually went in and went right back, went in and right back out just to check my surrounding. But I do go back in to get levels because I was going to enchant my pickaxe. And when I enchanted my pickaxe, I actually got Fortune 3 on Breaking 3 and Efficiency 4, which is really nice. And for the rest of the day, I actually started to just do mining in the overworld. I was trying to find diamonds, but I didn't find any, so I was just collecting all of the resources I could. So let's just move on to day 19. So on day 19, I was back to strip mining, and I found 2 veins of diamonds, which was what I was looking for. I really needed diamonds to get diamond armor, and at the end of the day, since I had Fortune 3, I actually had 22 diamonds. And I don't think I had enough diamonds for diamond armor. I don't know if I had extras or not. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, I got 22 diamonds, which was really, really good. So let's just move on to day 20. So on day 20, I enchant my sword to sharpness 3, and I get sharpness 3 knockback 2. I would have actually preferred to get something different than that, because knockback 2 isn't really the best. It's okay, but then I made a bunch of item frames so I could put on the chest, so I actually know what chests are what, instead of opening each one trying to figure out where the items go. And then after that, I actually made a fishing rod, so I went to the nether, and I got 30 levels. I came back, I enchanted the fishing rod, and I got luck of the C2 in a Breaking 3, which is kind of unfortunate, because it takes forever to fish without a lure fishing rod, so that's all I did this day. So let's move on to day 21. So on day 21, I spent this entire day fishing, since I got that luck of the C2 and a Breaking 3 fishing rod, and at the end of the day, I got absolutely nothing. The only thing I got was fish, which was for food, but they didn't really help as much. So let's just move on to day 22. So on day 22, I started to make my diamond armor, so I could actually feel a lot more safe. And during that day, I made an anvil so I could actually repair my pickaxe, and I ended off that day with strip mining, and I found 2 veins of diamonds, which was really, really nice. I don't remember how many diamonds I had at the end of that, but I got 2 veins, which was really nice. So let's move on to day 23. On day 23, I was still strip mining, and I believe the reason I was strip mining was just to get as much just materials as I could. I was just collecting everything I found, no matter what it was. And I actually ended off that day with making a diamond axe, and I finished off my diamond armor with making some leggies. So let's move on to day 24. So I begin day 24 off with building a room for furnaces, for like blast furnaces, smokers, and just normal furnaces, because I like to have a furnace room. And I actually needed to go out and get more wood, because I didn't have enough wood to finish it. And at the end of the day, I finished it. So let's move on to day 25. So on day 25, I begin this day off with getting wood so I could actually make smokers. And I basically was just putting up my furnace room together, and I put smokers, furnaces, and blast furnaces in, but I wasn't able to finish the blast furnaces. So let's just move on to day 26. So on day 26, I was looking for a desert to try to find temples or something, and I found a desert, but there was actually no temples here. There was not even a village. It was actually a very, very small desert, and I was very disappointed. So let's just move on to day 27. So on day 27, I am still at this desert, and before I leave, I get a bunch of sand, so I can get a bunch of glass. It isn't a lot of sand. It's only like a stack. But I got sand just in case, and I got back, and by the time I got back, it was almost getting nighttime, so I basically just went to sleep. So let's move on to day 28. So on day 28, I was going to enchant my diamond armor, so I went to the nether and started getting levels to level 30, and I got my boots to level 30, and I got feather falling 4, which is really, really nice. I would have liked to have a breaking 3, but didn't get it. I only got feather falling 4, which I was fine with. Having feather falling 4 helps you and saves you a lot. And then I went back to the nether, got 30 more levels, and I enchanted my chest plate, and I got protection 4, and I'm breaking 3, and I was really, really happy with that. So let's move on to day 29. So day 29, I was strip mining, and I found 2 veins of diamonds, and I believe one of them was a vein of 8, and the other was a vein of 4. I do not remember, but I basically was strip mining not only to try to find diamonds, but just to get stuff like coal, iron, lapis, all the ores and stuff. And that's pretty much what I did. So let's just move on to day 30. So on day 30, I am strip mining still, and I'm not doing this to find diamonds or anything. I'm actually doing this to get XP, because I really don't want to go in the nether, because I do not have good armor yet. And I want to take my chances, because the piglins actually do 3.5 hearts of damage with their golden swords. So I didn't want to take my chance. So I was just strip mining. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really find anything too good though, so let's just move on to day 31. So on day 31, I enchanted my helmet and got only protection 3. Kind of sucks. But then after that, I went to go back to the nether to get 30 levels because I was actually going to enchant my axe. And when I got back and enchanted it, I got efficiency 4 and a breaking 3, which is exactly what I wanted. It would have been nice to have like sharpness on it or something, but you know, I got what I wanted, so I'm happy. So let's move on to day 32. So on day 32, I start this day off with getting quartz again because I was going to enchant my diamond shovel. And when I got back and enchanted it, I got a efficiency 4 and a breaking 3 just like my axe. And I was perfectly fine with it. That's exactly what I wanted. Wasn't complaining. So let's move on to day 33. So on day 33, I was strip mining the nether with beds. And I found just enough scraps to make a netherite ingot. And I was happy with that. And that's pretty much, I didn't get any more than like 4 or 5, so let's just move on to day 34. So I spent all of day 34 actually strip mining, didn't find anything, no scraps or anything I cared about, so I just started to go back home. So let's move on to day 35. Day 35, I repaired my pickaxe because it was getting very low from the strip mining. And it basically took me almost all this day to actually get back from the nether. And at the end of the day, I started to breed the cows. So let's move on to day 36. Day 36, I was strip mining again in the nether. And I found a vein of 3 netherite scraps. And that was very, very nice. I was actually kind of surprised when I found it. And then right after that, I found even more. So I got enough for an ingot. So I just started to go back home. Let's move on to day 37. Day 37, I started to get a lot better of a helmet, because it just had protection 3 on it, and this one I got had fire protection 4, aqua affinity, and a breaking 3. But I got rid of the fire protection for normal protection because it would actually help me out a lot more. I know fire protection is really good because if you got caught on fire by lava or something, that would help you out a lot, but I just kept with the protection. And I also made really, really good boots. I believe that it had, depth strider 3 on breaking 3, and feather falling 4, which was a lot better because I had a breaking 3 on it, so I was fine with that. And for the pretty much rest of the day, I made a place right next to the cows for sheep, so I could actually get beds, so I could strip mine more. And that's pretty much what I did for the rest of the day. I was going to get sheep, but then it got really late, and I didn't want to have to deal with mobs, so I just went back home and slept. So let's move on to day 38. Day 38, I was actually gathering pigs, because it turns out I didn't actually realize I did this, but I made a little place for pigs as well, right after I made it for the sheep. So I got pigs right away because they were just literally right there, and took me a while to find sheeps, but I eventually found sheeps, and I also got sheeps in there too. I got pigs and sheeps for that day, and I was also like kind of breaking grass blocks around the area because I just wanted it to look a little bit better, because it kind of looked like the terrain and stuff didn't really match. It didn't look symmetrical or anything, so I just kind of cleaned up the area a little bit. And then after that, I made just a little bit of a farm. I was going to extend it the next day, so let's just move on to day 39. So day 39, I spent this entire day extending my farm, and I made about, I'd say, like 8 rows of wheat, and there was 10 in each row, so I had a total of about 80 wheat growing at the time, and I also made a place for carrots as well. So let's just move on to day 40. I begin day 40 off with getting levels in the nether. I don't exactly remember why I was doing this, but right after that, I started to plant my carrots. So let's just move on to day 41. So on day 41, I spend this entire day in the nether. And the reason I'm doing this is to get to level 33 so I can get a really good hoe, because I actually didn't really get a good enchantment for my first hoe. So let's just move on to day 42. So on day 42, I wasn't actually level 33, but I was really, really close. I'm actually getting magma blocks right here for I was going to make a slime farm, like not within this 100 days, but eventually I was going to. And I got back home, and I enchanted my hoe, and I only got efficiency 4 and a breaking 3, which is not what I wanted. I wanted like at least fortune 2. So that's why I got 33 levels, just in case that happened. And I made another hoe and only got efficiency 4, which really, really sucked. But at the end of that, towards the end of that day, I actually was disenchanting the only efficiency 4 hoe. I kept disenchanting it, re-enchanting it, try to get at least fortune on my 3rd level. Then I got fortune 2 for my 3rd level, so I was fine at that. So basically at the end of the day, I just fed my sheep, and then I went to bed. So let's move on to day 43. On day 43, I spent this entire day basically making a mine that goes straight down to diamond level, because I didn't want to have to keep using a like water to go down to diamond level. It was kind of annoying, so I made my own mine. So let's just move on to day 44. Day 44, I went to go get wood so I could actually fill in my mine that I made. I was going to put stairs on, going straight down, walls made out of wood, and the ceiling of it made out of stairs as well. So I pretty much was able to finish the stairs that I'm going to walk down and stairs that are on the top of it. So let's just move on to day 45. Day 45, I actually finished one of the walls, the right side wall. I filled it all in with wood. But the other wall, I wasn't able to fill it in with wood, but I broke it all. So let's just move on to day 46. At the beginning of day 46, I filled in the last of the wall for my mine. And I spent the rest of the day in the nether getting levels and trying to get ender pearls. So on day 46, I am still getting levels in the nether. And if you didn't know how I keep track of the days, I type in the chat, like in the Minecraft chat, what day I'm on so I don't lose track. And if I'm in the nether for a whole day, the way how I keep track in the nether is one day is 20 minutes. So I kind of just guess a little bit. So that's how I keep track of the days. So let's move on to day 48. Day 48, I was basically strip mining for this whole day to try to get level 30, and not only to get level 30, but also just to have resources, because I still needed a lot of coal for my furnaces. And I just like to have resources just in case I'm going to like build farms later on. And after I got done strip mining, I was level 30, and I went to go enchant my hoe. And I got Fortune 2, Efficiency 4, and a Breaking 3. So I combined it with my other hoe, and I had a Fortune 2, Efficiency 5, on Breaking 3 hoe, which was really, really nice. So I just dealt with that, and that's the end of that day. Let's move on to day 49. Day 49, I extended my farms, or my carrot farm rather. My wheat was fine, I was done with that, and I basically extended my carrot farm. Since I had a Fortune 2 hoe, it made me get a lot of carrots. So I just extended that, and at the end of that, or not really the end of it, but more towards the middle of the day, I also made my sugarcane farm really, really good. I basically broke like a square around so the sugarcane isn't all over the place. So it actually is really, really nice looking. And I basically sheared sheep and went to bed. So let's move on to day 50. On day 50, I was in the nether trying to get netherite because I had 2 goals in mind actually for this 100 days, as to kill the ender dragon and get full netherite armor. And I only needed 2 more ingots to get full netherite armor. And during this day, I only found 3 scraps, which really, really sucked. It would have really been nice to find 1 more, but I didn't. So let's move on to day 51. So it took me all of day 51 to actually get back from the nether, because I did not realize how far I was from the portal. But it turns out I actually did have a 4th scrap. I just didn't see it or realize it, but I got enough for an ingot. So let's move on to day 52. Day 51, I made my leggings netherite, so that was really, really nice. And I sheared more sheep so I could actually get a lot more beds because I was going to ship mine more. And I killed a lot of cows because I needed a lot more food. And for the rest of that day, I got wood and made beds. So let's move on to day 53. Day 53, I spent this entire day strip mining. And I got 4 scraps, which is just enough for an ingot. So I basically went back home and went to sleep. So let's move on to day 54. On day 54, I am strip mining just to, get resources. Not to find diamonds or anything. It was just to get resources. And I go on the nether and try to find a fortress. I didn't end up finding a fortress, but I actually continue my search on day 55. So let's move on to day 55. So it takes me days 55 and 56 to actually find another fortress. It took me a very, very, very long time to find one. And I almost gave up on it, but I kept on searching. And when I got to the fortress, I actually camped a blaze spawner, because if you didn't know, you need blaze rods. Turn them into blaze powder, and combine the blaze powder with ender pearls, and you get Eyes of Ender. And you need those Eyes of Ender to actually find the stronghold. And let's just move on to day 57. Day 57, while I was about to leave the fortress, I encountered this wither skeleton, and I killed him. And I actually did not realize this until I got back home, but I got a skeleton head from him. I had absolutely no idea that I got a skeleton head from him, or a wither head. And after that, it took me pretty much this entire day to get back home. So let's move on to day 58. So day 58, I also spent this day strip mining in the nether. And I actually ended up getting 8 scraps, which was enough for 2 ingots, which is very, very nice. So let's move on to day 59. Day 59, I am still strip mining in the nether, and I start heading back, but while I was heading back, I got as many quartz as I could so I can get 33 levels. And when I got back, I used those 2 ingots to actually repair my helmet because it was getting very, very low. And I also made a really good fishing rod. So let's just move on to day 60. Day 60, I basically spent this whole day strip mining because my armor was getting low, so I really needed netherite. So let's just move on to day 61. Day 61, I am still strip mining in the nether. And by the end of that day, I had 12 scraps, so it was enough for 3 ingots. And that's pretty much all I did for this day. So let's just move on to day 62. Day 62, I repaired my boots because they were also getting very low. And for the rest of the day, I pretty much farm all my crops and extend the farm so I can get a lot more food. So let's just move on to day 63. Day 63, I'm just shearing my sheep to make more beds, to strip mine more. And I repair my pickaxe, and it costs 10 levels, and I just extended my farm for the rest of the day. So let's move on to day 64. Day 64, I'm strip mining, and by the end of this day, I had 9 scraps. So it was enough to repair my armor a little bit. I repaired my leggings and my chest plate. So let's just move on to day 65. I spent all of day 65 in the nether getting levels. I don't actually remember why I was getting levels. I was getting levels for something, but I didn't end up getting level 30, so I have no idea what it was for. So let's just move on to day 66. Day 66, I am back in the nether getting level 30 because I was actually going to make a better sword. And when I got back, I enchanted my sword, and I had a sharpness 3 and a breaking 3. So I combined it with my other sword, had a sharpness 4 and breaking 3, and knocked back 2 swords. So I was really happy with that. So let's move on to day 67. Day 67, I spent this whole day looking for the stronghold. So let's just move on to day 68. So on day 68, it almost took me all of this day to find the portal, but I did eventually find it. And I didn't have enough ice vendor. I need 1 more, which really annoyed me. So let's just move on to day 69. So day 69, I know this is supposed to be a funny number, but I really just don't care. I have no care in the world for this number. Do not care. So I'm basically trying to get netherite scraps, and I had enough for 2 ingots by the end of the day. So that was really nice because I needed to repair my armor. Move on to day 70. Day 70, I am still strip mining and... Or not really. I wouldn't say strip mining, more or less just kind of spamming my pickaxe wherever I look. And by the end of this day, I had 13 scraps, which was enough for 3 ingots. So I actually repaired my my armor and made a bow. I didn't really get good enchantments on the bow. I think I only got punched 2 in power 4, but I repaired my armor. So let's just move on to day 71. Day 71, I'm strip mining in the overworld now. I'm only doing this to get resources, not really anything else. And also trying to get levels as well, but mainly resources. But towards the end of that day, I actually kind of, around the area where my farm is, I kind of just break some blocks and make it look a little bit better. You know, that's all I really did this day, so let's move on to day 72. I spent day 72 looking for chickens because I needed feathers because I needed a lot of arrows for my bow so to fight the Ender Dragon with. So let's just move on to day 73. Day 73, I am mining down to make a little room for the villagers. And after that, I had to go get wood because I did not have enough wood to fill in all of this stone. So let's move on to day 74. Day 74, I am still making the area for the villagers, and it was going very well. So let's just move on to day 75. Day 75, I am still making that room for the villagers, and it was going very good at this point. And for some reason, I spent the rest of the day in the nether getting levels. I don't exactly remember the reason why, so let's move on to day 76. Day 76, I am still making the place for the villagers. It actually took me a while to make this, a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And at the end of the day, I just farmed all my crops. So let's move on to day 77. Day 77, I put chests down. And there was a captain right there that I'm looking at. And I did end up killing him. I got the curse on me and everything. But I used cows to get the curse off me. Because if you didn't know, if you have a curse on you, you just drink milk from a cow and the curse goes away. I don't know how that even works. But I farmed my carrots and stuff. Farmed all my crops right here, as you can tell. And at the end of the day, I just got a bunch of wood. I don't remember the reason why, but let's just move on to day 78. Day 78, I believe that I actually ended up finishing my room for the villagers, but I still needed to get them. But I actually started to farm my sugarcane a little bit because it all grew and stuff like that. And I made a chest for the sugarcane. So let's move on to day 79. So on day 79, I was getting obsidian because I was actually going to try to get villagers. And I later found out that it was going to be a lot more complicated than I thought. So let's just move on to day 80. So all day 80, I was actually trying to transport villagers, and it was not going well at all. I was really struggling with this. So let's just move on to day 81 until I actually figure out a way of how I actually transported the villagers. Day 81, I spent all of this day well, I wouldn't say all of it, but pretty much most of the day, building a bridge from the villager nether portal to my nether portal. And at the end of the day, I was gathering materials for a bunch of rails. So let's move on to day 82. Day 82, I was building a railway system for my villagers because I wasn't sure how else to get them down there besides a railroad. I know you could use like a boat or whatever, but I felt like it was going to be a lot more complicated if I did it that way, so I didn't want to do it that way. And by the end of the day, I was actually bringing them into the nether now and starting to transport them. So let's move on to day 83. So on day 83, I was running into a lot of problems. I accidentally killed one of the villagers that I transported, and they were just really hard to transport. I don't know why, but they just weren't working correctly. But by the end of the day, I had 2 villagers down there, which is nice. So let's move on to day 84. So on day 84, I was starting to make a place for the chickens as well, because I already had ones for pigs, sheep, and cows. I didn't want to have the chickens left out, so I got chickens as well. And I didn't really do this for the whole day. For the rest of the day, I didn't really even do anything at all. I just was kind of just running around, wasting time, I guess. I don't know what I was doing, but for the rest of the day, I just got chickens. So let's just move on to day 85. Day 85, I started to give bread to the villagers because I needed more villager babies. So I just gave them bread, and for the rest of the day, I just farmed my crops. Let's move on to day 86. Day 86, I was back to strip mining in the overworld. The only reason I was doing this was to get resources and maybe some levels, but I was mainly doing it just to get resources. And after that, I was back to strip mining in the nether because my armor was getting pretty weak, and I didn't want to have weak armor when I was fighting the ender dragon. And I only found 3 scraps, which really, really sucked. But, you know, I believe I had an extra one at home, so that's why I wasn't looking for another one, which is, I guess, pretty nice. So let's just move on to day 87. Day 87, I went back to the nether, and this time, I was not getting scraps. I was actually trying to get 30 levels, and I believe I was doing this so I could actually enchant another pickaxe, because the good one I had, the Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, and a Breaking 3 one I had, was very, very low. And it cost a lot of levels to repair since I kept repairing it over and over and over again. So I just got 30 levels for this one. So let's move on to day 88. So on day 88, I was back to nether again. I know it's getting repetitive, but I really needed to repair my armor badly, like really badly. And I only got 1 scrap out of this entire pickaxe I got. I didn't get on Breaking 3 on it, which really, really sucked. I was hoping I got on Breaking 3 because I would have probably got like more scraps. And I only had 2 extras at home. I don't know when I got 2 extras, but I did. So I didn't have enough for an ingot. So let's just move on to day 89. So I am tying days 89, 90, and 91 all together because I was strip mining for all of these days. And since I didn't have a good pickaxe, it took me a very, very long time to strip mine. And I only got 2 scraps out of all 3 days I was strip mining, which I guess was fine. I had 3 left over at home, which I guess was okay to me, but I still wanted at least to get more so I could repair my armor more. So let's just move on to day 92. So on day 92, I guess I was still strip mining. I didn't even know. I don't know why I was strip mining so much. I mean, obviously it was to repair my armor, but at the end of this was actually very successful. I got, I believe, like 7 or 8 scraps, and I had extras at home, so I had enough for 2 ingots, which was very, very helpful. So let's just move on to day 93. Day 93, with the 2 ingots I had, I repaired my chest plate and my leggings. So I was very, very happy about that. I was so relieved after I repaired them because they were getting really, really low. At the end of the day, I was actually making lecterns, and the reason I was doing that was to turn my villagers I was getting into librarians to try to get many books. So let's just move on to day 94. Day 94, I was trying to spend this entire day trying to get a mini book, and I got one. I finally got a mini book. It pretty much took me all day, and after that, I just killed some cows for some food. So let's move on to day 95. Day 95, I was just trying to waste time at this point because I really wanted to kill the ender dragon on day 100 to end it off on a really good note. And while mining, I found diamonds, a vein of 8 diamonds, so it was really, really nice. I didn't use my fortune, actually, yeah, I did use my fortune pickaxe, I don't know what I'm talking about. It was very low, so I was kind of hesitant to use it, but I used it, and I got 20 diamonds from that vein. It was just crazy. And then right after that, I basically just killed a bunch of sheep to get as much food as I could for the dragon. I wasn't sure how much I was going to need, so I just got as much food as I could, and I just watched the sunset on day 95, so let's move on to day 96. So for day 96, I was just back to mining again. I am doing this to get as many resources as I can. It wasn't to get levels or anything, because obviously I didn't really need levels at this point. I was perfectly fine. The only thing I was worrying about is the durability of my armor. And for the rest of that day, for some reason, my villagers' books got reset. I don't know what happened. And I actually got my mending book back pretty quickly. So let's move on to day 97. On day 97, I was starting to do a raid because I actually got a curse at the end of day 96. I didn't really show it, but I got a curse. And I really, really regret doing it. Well, I half regret doing this, and I actually like that I did this. It drained my armor a lot. I don't know why, but these guys weren't really attacking me. But the one thing that drained my armor was the evokers. They were spawning the Vexes that did a lot of damage to me. I actually almost died from the Vexes, but I didn't. And I got a totem of undying. And it made me feel a lot more safe. I had a lot more confidence actually, playing Minecraft at this point. So let's move on to day 98. So 98, it was a big day. I know I said I was going to do this on day 100, but I didn't. Because it actually took me 2 days to kill the Ender Dragon. But it took me half of this day to get to the portal. I got there, jumped in the portal. My armor was very, very low. And I was kind of concerned about that. But when I got in the portal, I just started to build over, and I was hoping that I would have had a good time. I really should have made like a strength potion or something, but I didn't because I completely forgot about that. I normally don't make that. Make strength potions. I kind of just rely on just golden apples mainly. And pretty much it was going very, very well. It wasn't really anything bad happening, so let's just move on to day 99 when I finish it. So day 99, I was getting it very, very low. Like it had like no HP left. And I didn't want to kill it over the portal, mainly because I've had an experience where all of the XP... Oh yeah, right here actually, I do an MLG water bucket. I was so happy I did that. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I was just amazed I did it. And he had no health right here, as you can tell. Or I guess she, maybe, I don't know. I didn't want to kill it over the portal, because I've had an experience where all the XP goes in the portal and I lose it all. But when I kill it, I put cobblestone over the portal, so the XP doesn't fall through. And I killed the dragon, and I was standing over the cobblestone that I put over the portal, and something very unfortunate happened. The cobblestone broke, and I got teleported back home, and all the XP was still there. So I had to quickly run all the way back there, get all of the XP, and I just went back home. So let's move on to day 100, the big day. So it was day 100. I was so relieved I did it. It was really, really freaking hard to do this on Java, but I pulled through just for you guys, just so you guys could see the video. And I was just showcasing everything I did on this day. There wasn't really anything I wanted else to do. I just wanted to kind of show you guys my progress. And I really, really enjoyed this. So on my last video, since I have 1,000 views on that one now, if I can get, let's see, maybe like 50 likes, I will definitely do 200 days. I promise you guys I will get that out. Maybe not any, well, okay, I will try to get it out as fast as I can, but I want to go at my pace. And I'll tell you guys what my pace is. I basically love grinding Minecraft. It is one of the games that I can sit here for hours on, because there's so many things you can do. Most games I can only sit on for an hour or two. This game, I was grinding this game for like 3 days straight because I kept dying over and over again. And yeah, I put so much time and effort into these videos. So if you guys could just, leave a like, leave a comment or something. You guys don't have to, but we much appreciate it if you guys could. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. I don't know if you guys watched till the end, but I hope you did, just to see, my progress. And I hope you guys had a good year. I know last year was, a really bad year for a lot of people, like a lot of people. And so I hope you guys have a good day, morning, night, whatever time of day it is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys. See you later.